Once every year, Vietnam slows down. Flowers, red decorations, and the smell of incense begin to fill every neighborhood. Kitchens grow busier as traditional dishes are prepared for the days ahead. Families travel home from every corner of the country. Parents prepare everything for family reunions. The streets become quieter, and millions of people get ready for the most important celebration of the year. These are my memories of Lunar New Year, filmed in Hai Phong, Vietnam, during the 2023 Tet holiday. This is Lunar New Year in Vietnam. Hi, I'm Seng. Welcome back to Vietnam Diaries. Today I'd like to share what Lunar New Year really looks like in Vietnam. Not as a tourist, but through my family's traditions that I've grown up with since childhood. In the days leading up to Lunar New Year, many streets across northern Vietnam are filled with peach blossoms and all kinds of flowering plants. In the south, yellow apricot blossoms and chrysanthemums are much more common. Families visit flower markets to choose a tree or a pot of flowers to decorate their homes for the holiday. Many people believe these plants bring good luck, prosperity, and happiness for the year ahead. Even for those who don't follow the tradition closely, they have become an important symbol of Tet and make every home feel festive. This is a snow plum branch in our home. Right now, it's covered with hundreds of tiny green buds, and in just a few days, they'll open into delicate white flowers, just in time for Lunar New Year. On the morning of Lunar New Year's Eve, my family prepares an offering for our ancestors. It's one of the most important traditions of Tet, a way to remember and show respect to the generations who came before us. There are 5 people in my family: my parents, my 2 older sisters, and me. But my second sister is married now, so she spends Tet with her husband's family, helping them prepare for the holiday. A few days later, she comes back to visit our parents. That's a very common tradition in Vietnam. This is my oldest sister stir-frying beef, while my mom stands beside her. During Tet, the kitchen is always the busiest place in the house. This is my dad, preparing the boiled chicken for our Tet feast. It's one of the traditional dishes many Vietnamese families prepare during Lunar New Year. I planted this curtain creeper by our front gate about 2 years ago. This is our small garden. And that papaya tree has been producing a lot of fruit this year. Do you have papaya trees like this where you live? Let me know in the comments. Inside, my dad and my sister were still busy preparing the food for our ancestor offering. Outside, the midday sun was so bright that it slightly overexposed my camera. Our family altar is on the 3rd floor, so we'll soon carry all the offering dishes upstairs. These artificial flowers decorate the open skylight in the center of the house, adding a little greenery to the space. Along the staircase, you'll also see some of the paintings I created myself, along with a few that I bought to decorate the walls. This little corner on the 2nd floor is one of my favorite places at home. And this is our living room. A branch of peach blossoms sits in a ceramic vase with a small pothos plant beside it. Simple decorations that always make the house feel like Tet. In many Vietnamese homes, fresh flowers are an important part of the family altar during Tet. They symbolize respect for our ancestors and welcome a fresh, hopeful start to the new year. My sister is arranging these colorful flowers before taking them upstairs to the family altar. Every flower on the altar is carefully chosen. It's a small tradition, but one that has been passed down through generations in many Vietnamese families. Finally, everything was ready. The offering tray was filled with traditional Tet dishes, along with a bottle of homemade Vietnamese rice wine. The altar offering was carefully prepared with bánh chum, bananas, a pomelo, and traditional ceremonial paper offerings. items commonly seen on many Vietnamese family altars during Tet. These are traditional Tet couplets hanging on the wall, expressing wishes for good luck, happiness, and prosperity in the new year. Once everything was ready, my dad lit incense and offered a prayer to our ancestors. For many Vietnamese families, it's a meaningful tradition that honors those who came before us and expresses our hopes for a peaceful and fortunate new year. Look at that! It's such a beautiful sunny day. This little balcony garden is one of my favorite parts of the house. A little later, my mom came upstairs to light incense as well. One by one, each member of our family pays their respects to our ancestors, quietly offering prayers and wishing for a peaceful, healthy, and happy new year. Then I took my turn at the family altar. Moments like this are simple, but they've been part of Tet in my family for as long as I can remember. Outside, a dove landed in our small courtyard. It was such a simple but beautiful moment. Some Vietnamese families see it as a good sign when an animal visits their home around Tet. It's believed to bring luck, happiness. That evening, after dinner, my family gathered in the living room to watch Tet TV programs together. Before midnight, we'd begin preparing everything for our Lunar New Year's Eve offering. It's my favorite part of Tet. The whole house feels warm, peaceful, and filled with the spirit of the holiday. By 7:30 in the evening, our home was glowing with the spirit of Tet. Fresh flowers decorated the table. The peach blossom tree sparkled with tiny lights, and outside, the neighborhood was filled with colorful flags and festive decorations. I really love this time of year because it brings my family together. It's one of the moments I look forward to most every year. What is New Year's Eve like in your country? I'd love to hear about your traditions in the comments. In southern Vietnam, yellow apricot blossoms are much more popular than peach blossoms during Tet. Many families also decorate their homes with pots of yellow chrysanthemums. One reason is the warmer climate, which is much better suited to these flowers than the cooler weather in northern Vietnam. Before the night became busier, I took a moment to film my family sitting together in front of the TV. By now, it was already 11:30 p.m. The outdoor offering table was ready, with fruit, candy, sticky rice, boiled eggs, Vietnamese sausage, rice, salt, and other traditional offerings. My sister had also finished cooking a pot of sweet mung bean soup and was carefully serving it into bowls for the midnight ceremony. From my third-floor balcony, I could see the whole neighborhood shining brightly. Houses were decorated with colorful lights, and behind almost every door, families were preparing for the arrival of the new year. Can you see all those colorful lights glowing throughout the neighborhood? I love how they make the whole place feel alive. Finally, midnight arrived. Outside, a few families began setting off small fireworks to welcome the new year. The city holds large fireworks displays every New Year's Eve, but they're quite far from my house. So every year, we simply stay home and celebrate together as a family. And honestly, I wouldn't trade that for anything. One of our first moments in the new year was lighting incense together at the family altar. It's a quiet tradition we've kept for many years. I still remember that when I was a child, my parents would always buy me a new set of clothes for Tet. I was so excited that I couldn't wait until the next morning. I would put them on as soon as midnight arrived. The next day, I'd follow my parents as we visited relatives and wished everyone a happy new year. One of the happiest parts of Tet for every child in Vietnam is receiving lucky money in red envelopes from adults. along with wishes for good health, happiness, success in school, and good luck in the year ahead. Those are memories I'll always treasure. Outside, colorful fireworks were lighting up the night sky as families all around the neighborhood celebrated the arrival of the new year. Now I'm curious about your country. What do you usually do on New Year's Eve? Do you celebrate with your family, watch fireworks, or have your own traditions? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read about them and learn how people celebrate around the world. Down in our courtyard, my mom was lighting incense for the outdoor New Year's offering, quietly welcoming the first moments of the year. The next scene takes us to the evening of the first day of Lunar New Year. Earlier that morning, we visited our relatives to exchange New Year's greetings, and throughout the day, friends and family stopped by our home to celebrate with us. By evening, everything had become quiet again. My family gathered around the dinner table, sharing a meal, watching TV, chatting, and simply enjoying the peaceful atmosphere of the holiday. Moments like these are what Tet means to me. Not anything extravagant, just being together with the people you love. This was our family meal on the final days of Tet. In many parts of Vietnam, each family chooses an auspicious day to prepare one last offering for their ancestors, symbolically marking the end of the Lunar New Year celebrations and expressing gratitude for their blessings. After the ceremony, we all sat down to enjoy the meal together and took a few family photos. My second sister and my brother-in-law were there too, making it one of those rare moments when almost everyone was together. The next day, my two sisters and I visited a temple to begin the new year. This is Ba Da Temple, one of Hai Phong most well-known spiritual sites, located right by the sea and visited by people from all over Vietnam. At the beginning of the year, many Vietnamese people visit temples to pray for peace, good health, happiness, and good fortune for themselves and their families. The sea here isn't crystal clear because it's rich in sediment carried by nearby rivers throughout the year. If you want turquoise water and sandy beaches in Hai Phong, you'd usually head to Cat Ba Island instead. Even so, many people come down to the rocky shoreline below to take photos, enjoy the sea breeze, and capture their first memories of the new year. Not far from there, my sisters and I visited Hang Pagoda, another famous temple in Hai Phong. Built against the mountainside and overlooking the sea, it's one of the city's most beautiful spiritual landmarks. During Tet, the temple is decorated with colorful lanterns and festive ornaments, attracting visitors from all over. With its 3 levels nestled beside the mountain, the peaceful atmosphere makes it a wonderful place to begin the new year. Every country has its own traditions and stories. This is just a small part of ours. What are some New Year traditions that make your country unique? I hope these simple moments have helped you see a different side of Vietnam. Not just the places, but the people, traditions, and everyday life as well. To end the video, my mom, my 2 sisters, and I took an evening walk around the flower gardens near the Hai Phong Opera House to enjoy the last moments of Tet. It was a simple way to spend time together before life returned to its normal routine. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments, and I hope to see you again in my future videos.